split out wide and not just stay in line. And O.J. Howard is that tight end.
Yeah. Now, was there a part of you guys that wanted to bring up the Packers, or?
I don't. I think we're good with Graham and Lewis and Tanyan right now. I think we're good with that. If I went and looked at LaFleur's the way he's ran his offense in Tennessee, and he had multiple tight ends in this game. It wasn't just one.
You know what I like about the Packers, man, is every year they seem to have this fan favorite who may not get the national attention, but if you go on Twitter, you find those guys. Right now, Vitali. I freaking love the following
muscle
that
man.
guy has. It's so great. His biceps have their own Twitter page.
Yeah.
Like, it's just freaking hilarious. Everyone wants to know his workout routine. I just love following that guy.
That's another factor that can be worked into the offense this week, especially for Detroit. But I mean, he can be used as a tight end. He's got the physicality of it, but he's also got the deceiving speed of a tight end too. Most fullbacks don't run as smooth as he does.
Are you using that white term, sneaky athletic?
No, I'm trying to be politically correct.
There's nothing sneaky about Danny Vitale and those 20-inch guns.
I'm talking about the speed. Yeah. With how bulky he is, you'd think he'd be a little bit slower. He moves very smoothly across the turf for being
my freaks out there.
Bulky.
Not everybody that's built like a damn Mack truck moves like a tracker.
Agreed.
Them picking on big people?
So let's save the dumpster fire. We'll dive a little bit into my Eagles traveling to Minnesota, taking on the Minnesota Vikings.
You didn't think I was going to take the Jets, huh?
Oh, well, let's hear it.
Dallas by 3.
You coward. Boo this man.
You know what? No, screw it. Jets by 2. I'll call it right now. I think Sam Darnold gets a touchdown, and then the defense steps it up and gets to Dak when trying to get down the field for a field goal.
I just got a half job.
I mean, hey.
All right, 3/4 chub.
Not the first time I've ever heard that.
The injury report for this game looks like this. Corey Clement, out. Ronald Darby, out. Deshaun Jackson, out. Avonte Maddox, out. Darren Sproles, out. So,
like pictures of Civil War
Eagles win.
They're just cutting off limbs.
Now, I will say the only one that surprised me there was Sproles because I didn't know he was going to be out for this week. And that could be a real problem when you talk about trying to put these Vikings into space and play the matchup game. Yeah, I don't think you can run right at these this front seven. They're pretty tough. So we'll see. I mean, obviously Jordan Howard has been the key to the success recently, trying to run the ball and play RPO off that. So you can definitely play Alshon Jeffrey. Apparently Rhodes for Minnesota is not the cornerback that he once was because there have been plenty of receivers, Devontae Adams being one of them, who's gotten over on him this year. Otherwise, definitely play Ertz. Wentz is a decent start. Jordan Howard's a flex play to me. I wouldn't try to expect any more out of him. On the Vikings side of the ball,
it's at Minnesota, too. Ooh.
Exactly. You have to play Dalvin Cook because you invested such a high pick in him, but I actually think the Eagles are going to be laser focused on stopping him, putting the ball into Kirk Cousins' hands. Yeah. They want the ball in Kirk's hands. They want to see what he can do against, unfortunately, pretty banged up secondary. So, who?
Yeah, Craig James.
Exactly. So I do like Thielen a lot, and even the struggling Stephon Diggs. If you've been a patient Stephon Diggs owner out there waiting for the breakout, no better time than this week to roll him out there. There's been, he's been the squeaky wheel, so to speak, so he's probably going to get greased. I'm never going to pick against my Eagles, even in the most dire situations. I like them to win this game. I think it's going to be 17-13 Philly, and fly, Eagles, fly. I'll end it with that.
Jay, you want to go, or do you want to know who won last week?
The Vikings win last week.
Yes, they beat the Giants.
Keep in mind, the Eagles won last week as well.
I don't care. I asked about the Vikings.
Unfortunately, we're not playing Luke Falk again.
Did the Vikings win last week?
Yes, they beat the Giants.
Why did they win?
Because of defense.
Because the Giants showed up?
No. Because Kirk Cousins played well, right?
Yeah, we'll say half and half.
Dave, analyze. Did he play well? Dillon, did they win because Kirk Cousins played well?
I didn't watch enough of the game to know if Kirk, and this is honest now, to know if Kirk actually played well. I know that he put up 300 yards.
Yes, he played well.
I know that he put up 300 yards against the New York Giants.
That's the answer I wanted.
And I know that Adam Thielen
That's why the Eagles
alone had a good
will
game.
win this week. Kirk Cousins doesn't play well back-to-back weeks. Vikings lose. There you go.
I love it.
I'm choosing Philly for the fact of they have a pass rush. The Fletcher Cox is going to own Garrett Bradbury. Like, I feel bad for him, man. He is a rookie. He was supposed to be rated high. He's coming in to face guys like freaking Kenny Clark, the defensive tackle from Atlanta. Now you're getting Fletcher Cox in your face. I mean, it's just the guy can't catch a break.
Cox in your face is not where you want to be.
Oh, especially if, thank God, Kyle Long's not playing because it'd be long Cox in your face.
Moving on to an NFC West battle, we've got the undefeated San Francisco 49ers, handsome Jimmy G, taking on perhaps the most handsomest coach there is in the entire league, and Sean McVay. Boy, 49ers are going to be without fullback Kyle Juszczyk, without tackle Mike McGlinchey, tight end George Kittle, listed as questionable with a groin injury. On the Rams side of the ball, Todd Gurley, unlikely to play. Clay Matthews, broken jaw, say goodnight. Aqib Talib, also not playing in this game.
That's a big hit.
So if the Niners showed any sort of propensity to throw the ball, I would say someone like Marquise Goodwin or Dante Pettis or Deebo Samuel would be a good play. But the Niners do not throw the ball, and when they do throw the ball, they throw it to George Kittle. So if anyone to play as a 49ers pass catcher, it's going to be George Kittle. Otherwise, I love Matt Breida and Tevin Coleman in this matchup. Hell, Raheem Mostert might get some work, but don't stick him in your lineups this week. On the Rams side of the ball, listen, if you've been sitting on Malcolm Brown all season long and you're not going to play him finally in the first week that he's going to be the starter getting all the work, then you're just not fun, and I don't want to know you. Malcolm Brown should be, not a great play. The Niners are a very respectable defense. But
I want to give a shout out
getting the work.
to Miss Julie Voigt, who has been riding Malcolm Brown all season on a flex.
Shout out to the Vibes.
Vibe
and
pass.
Julie, I'm very happy for Julie. Those Colts have been fighting hard this year. Not much was expected of them, taking down the undefeated Kansas City Chiefs last week.
In Kansas City.
So, Julie, I'm so happy for you, girl. Keep up the good work down there with PFG.
Yeah, the Colts are
another fact as well.
Very resilient team this year. And I think Wright really deserves some recognition for his job down there. That is not an easy situation. Oh, yeah. Like, that can literally pop the team balloon, so to speak, with what happened to them. I mean, it can take the air right out of their season. Guys could have quit and laid down. Coaches could have just checked out. You got to give credit to the guys walking around in that building, not only the players, but the front office, the personnel, trainers, everybody. That's a huge deal. I can't ever remember anything like that ever happening.
Jay, you're starting to get glitchy, buddy.
You are glitchy.
And, let's bring this up again. Talk about Patriots quarterbacks. You've got, obviously, Tom Brady playing at the age of 42. You've got Jimmy G at the helm for the undefeated 49ers right now. And you've got Jacoby Brissett fighting hard with the Indianapolis Colts. So, shout out to old Bill Belichick. Not just a defensive genius. Or do you, real quick, do you think Josh McDaniels deserves more credit, or is it all Bill?
It's Bill.
Okay. That's quick enough for me.
McDaniels has been there. He's left. They've had the same success without him. He's come back. Still the same success. Bill is like the almighty architect, in my opinion. I don't give any other credit. Look at Brian Flores that just left. I mean, look at Matt Patricia.
Right.
Yeah, there's been on both sides of the ball offensive coordinators, QB coaches, all that stuff that's been going on. And Bill's the only one that I give credit to. But I am going to take the San Francisco 49ers, though.
I like that. And I'm going to take the LA Rams at home, favored by 3. I think that McGlinchey being out, Juszczyk being out, plays a pretty big part. I think, people are overblowing the Juszczyk thing. He's obviously a big part of the offense, but it's not like they're going to stall without him. But I think if you've got Aaron Donald going up against an offensive line that now does not have either Joe Staley or Mike McGlinchey, even without Talib, even without Matthews, I think if Donald can get in Jimmy G's face and cause him to make a few mistakes, it's going to be the Rams game to win. Jay, I believe the Rams lost last week and the 49ers won. Where does that fit into your formula?
Who did I take to win the division?
Are you asking me rhetorical questions?
No. I'm
asking or do you think questions. I have this in do I think I have this in Microsoft Notes somewhere? Jay said this on August 8th. At 8.
Just asking a question.
At 8.
Like your memory should
Who
be good
did you
enough.
think?
I picked the 49ers.
I'm hoping you took Seattle, but you probably picked... Oh, no.
No, I picked the 49ers. Who's leading the division right now? Who doesn't have a loss? The Niners?
That is true.
Right. Okay, so I don't look so stupid. The Rams got a Super Bowl hangover. The 49ers are a balanced team that run a scheme that's proven in this league. They're going to win. They're running away with this division. They'll lose. They'll probably split with Seattle. They'll probably sweep the Rams and the Cardinals. And it'll come down to tiebreakers. And I think the 49ers are going to win the division. It's their year. Not saying that the Seahawks won't make the playoffs, but I just think the 49ers win it. They're a balanced team, and that defense is no joke. And they have 3 legitimate good ball carriers. I know their receivers aren't the greatest, but their tight end makes up for it, and their running game does a hell of a job.
Well, yeah, and you're right. I don't think they're as balanced if you take Kittle out of the equation, right? So that's going to be the big thing. A groin injury is no joke, so we'll see how they treat that and how he comes through it. Moving into one of the final 1 o'clock games, we've got the dumpster fire. Redskins going to welcome to Miami, taking on Josh Rosen and the boys. Let's get through this one pretty quickly. Fantasy-wise, because Case Keenum is back, I like scary Terry McLaurin a lot. I mentioned Jeremy Sprinkle earlier as a tight end flex, so I think you can roll with tight end streamer, I should say. He should be a guy you're looking to pick up if you need a tight end. What with Darren Waller and others being out this week on bye. Who else for the Redskins? I do like Adrian Peterson quite a bit, actually. This Dolphins rush defense is ranked dead last, and Bill Callahan has already came out and said he wants to give AP the ball. So roll Peterson out there. Chris Thompson's also a guy you